The Grand Canyon is one of the most famous landmarks in the United States and the entire world. Scientists have recently discovered something terrifying in the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon in Arizona is a natural formation distinguished by layered bands of red rock, revealing millions of years of geological history in cross-section. Vast in scale, the canyon averages 10 miles across and a mile deep along its 277-mile length. Much of the area is a national park, with the Colorado River, whitewater rapids, and sweeping vistas. The Grand Canyon touches 4 states: Arizona, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado. The most accessible and popular state to see the Grand Canyon is Arizona on the south rim and Nevada on the west rim. It is a representation of rock layers, each of which can be dated to a distinct time in the Earth's history. Scary as it is, the results of this investigation have the potential to radically alter our understanding of the Grand Canyon's past. What exactly did the scientists discover at the Grand Canyon that will terrify the whole world? Let's find out. Discovery of ancient Egyptian artifacts. On April 5, 1909, a front-page story in the Arizona Gazette reported on an archaeological expedition in the heart of the Grand Canyon funded by the Smithsonian Institute, which had resulted in the discovery of Egyptian artifacts. The original story goes that the team found an underground network of tunnels high above the Colorado River containing various ancient artifacts, statues, and even mummies. A major discovery, no doubt about it. Impossible to slip off the archaeological radar. Still, the Smithsonian Institute will report it has no records on the subject. 313-million-year-old fossil prints. Paleontological research has confirmed a series of recently discovered fossil tracks are the oldest recorded tracks of their kind to date within the Grand Canyon National Park. In 2016, Norwegian geology professor Alan Krill was hiking with his students when he made a surprising discovery. Lying next to the trail, in plain view of the many hikers, was a boulder containing conspicuous fossil footprints. The track-bearing boulder fell from a nearby cliff exposure of the Monocacha Formation. The presence of a detailed geological map of the strata along with the Bright Angel Trail, together with previous studies of the age of the Monocacha Formation, allowed the researchers to pin down the age of the tracks quite precisely to 313 million years. Tunnels with cavern-like structure. In 1909, Smithsonian Institution explorer G.E. Kincaid found mysterious caves during an expedition. The cavern's entrance was practically impenetrable, but Kincaid could enter and make an astounding discovery. The massive tunnels extended out from a central cavern-like structure of a wheel that were filled with antiquities such as sculptures, seed granaries, and even copper weaponry. Its size was approximately large enough that 50,000 people could live happily inside. The Grand Canyon is missing over 1 billion years worth of rocks. Scientists have been concerned about this phenomenon for decades because the Grand Canyon serves as proof of history through rocks, with each layer representing a specific time period on Earth. Imagine then learning that rock layers dating back more than 1 billion years are missing from the geological record of the Grand Canyon, which is known as the Great Unconformity. Geologist John Wesley Powell first noticed the anomaly in 1869 while traveling down the Colorado River. Years later, geologists were able to date these layers, which led them to confirm the Great Unconformity. Experts discovered this when they noticed that some of the rocks from 1.4 to 1.8 billion years ago were next to rocks from 520 million years ago. So what happened to the rocks that are missing within this strange gap that even scientists find puzzling? The results of this research indicate that certain events may have contributed to the strange gap in the geological record. This event was thought to have occurred concurrently with the violent breakup of the supercontinent Rodinia, which occurred between 633 and 750 million years ago. This period must have been a turbulent one for Earth's tectonics. Did you know that some prehistoric life forms were detected in the Grand Canyon? A cliff-falling boulder revealed these life forms. Geologist Alan Krill and his students were climbing the Bright Angel Trail in Grand Canyon National Park when Krill saw a weird rock with marks. A fallen boulder along the trail had footprint-like marks. A visiting Norwegian, Krill took photos of these patterns and gave them to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas paleontologist Stephen Rowland for study. Rowland found ancient fossilized creatures. Rowland estimated the print's footprints to be 313 million years old, making it the Grand Canyon's oldest vertebrate trail. It was the first evidence of vertebrates walking in sand dunes. How was this ancient footprint retained in the boulder that contained it if it belonged to an amniote, a hard-shelled egg-laying animal? Scientists were able to date the imprints to 330 million years ago and estimate their age at 500,000 years. Scientists found 2 tracks on the boulder's surface during footprint analysis. Rowland found that the fossil traces show 2 different reptile species walking diagonally over the location. Scientists are now trying to determine if they were the same animal at different times. He also observed a foot-long animal with a lateral sequence walk. A lateral sequence walk is when an animal moves its left rear foot, left front, right rear front, and right front. The second set of tracks moved faster than the first, according to analysis. This discovery is important because the vivid angel trail traces demonstrate that vertebrates exploited lateral sequence gaits early in their evolutionary history, which scientists did not know before. The Grand Canyon's paleontology program manager doubts Rowland's footprint results. Neville, however, applauds the discovery, adding that because the boulder was in plain sight and many people failed to notice it, there is a lot of scientific discussion over track interpretation, rock age, and what kind of animal left these tracks. The Grand Canyon cave is filled with sloth dung and mummified bats. The Grand Canyon, as we know it, has many caves in it. The interiors of these caves are filled with various plant and animal remains that provide us with insight into the region's past during the Ice Age. The caves also vary in size. Some can be so small that you must enter on all fours, while others may be wide enough to host a dance party. In any case, these caves have been the ideal place for habit formation. Birds, now extinct wood rats, mountain goats, and sloths, the well-preserved fossils gave researchers access to 40,000 years of history and the ability to understand what life was like during the Ice Age. When scientists first started to look at these signs of history, they focused on a rampant cave at the far western end of the canyon, where they discovered several dung balls scattered amidst the rock formations. A number of skulls have been found, including extinct and even mummified mountain goat skulls. Pollen that the animals ingested from the air also contains important clues about the local plant. Community wood rat middens served as tangible records of animal and plant remains left in orderly piles and unaltered for hundreds of years. Birds, as a member of this expedition, Steve Emsley, a professor of biology at the University of North Carolina and an authority on birds that existed during the Ice Age, found some condors in the caverns and was able to study them. His chemical analysis revealed the Grand Canyon, the megafauna went extinct, which may have killed the condors as well. These events are crucial to understanding the history of the globe, as were discovered by the Grand Canyon. The Colorado River is about to dry up. One of the distinctive features of the Grand Canyon is the Colorado River, which originates in the Rocky Mountains and flows 1,500 miles south through the canyons, deserts, waterfalls, lush wetlands, and canyons before emptying into the Gulf of California. The Colorado River is used for kayaking, canoeing, and other watercraft excursions, providing Grand Canyon visitors with an enjoyable diversion while they are there. The Colorado River has been running low for some time now, ever since trout became a concern in the Southwest. Although the river still flows well at the Grand Canyon, boaters are still seen cruising across Nevada and Arizona's Lake Mead, a distinct line in the rock walls at the lake's edge. Environmentalists feel that the Colorado River's damming and diverting has been a danger to the river, especially in the past decade. Environmentalists feel that dams and river diversion, particularly the Glen Canyon Dam, are significant culprits. If the water levels continue to drop, water will not be able to flow down the river due to the dam's positioning, which would have a negative effect on the water supply for the people in Arizona, California, Nevada, and even Mexico. The dam, which is located along the Colorado River, is more than 50 years old and is the moving machine that created Lake Powell. Although it is used to generate hydropower, the water levels are too low to do so. Since the Colorado River's future is uncertain, adventurers should book their Grand Canyon whitewater rafting excursion as soon as possible. Uranium detected in the Grand Canyon. Although it may seem strange, uranium is present in the Grand Canyon, showing that it exists within the rocklands as a radioactive material. This means that radiation exists in its environment, but tests have shown that the radiation occurs at the lowest level possible, making the Grand Canyon very safe for visitors to be around. As of right now, several locations in the Grand Canyon have abandoned mines in them, which pose a threat to the safety of those living around or in the Grand Canyon. When word of the radioactive material spread in the 1950s, miners started to operate in the area and tons of uranium were all mined out of the Grand Canyon area. At one point in the 2000s, One of these communities was the Havasupai tribe, whose reservation is located at the base of the Grand Canyon. After the Yellow Wall incident, petitions to ban uranium mining in the area began to circulate, and the Havasupai tribe, whose habitat is at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, voiced its concern about the pollution of the uranium by saying that the water in the area could become unfit for human consumption. This incident had a negative impact on the Grand Canyon area because the Yellow Wall polluted the area, leaving it in bad shape. Underground suite in Grand Canyon caves. John F. Kennedy, the President of the United States at the time, took proactive measures to prepare a safe haven for the populace in case bombs decided to rain down. He chose the Grand Canyon as the ideal location and made sure to move enough food and supplies into the caves to support at least 2,000 people. The single-room suite is being maintained and run by the above-ground Kenyon Caverns Motel. It is located where JFK's emergency supplies are still kept fresh and usable even after 40 years of storage due to the cave's naturally dry climate, and the suite shows several modern amenities. However, since the bombs never dropped, the cave suites became tourist attractions for people who visited the Grand Canyon, located 220 feet below ground. Due to the extraordinary depth, zero humidity, and total darkness of the suite, which is on display as one of the national park's attractions, most visitors enter the room during the day. The fact that there are no rodents, insects, or other animals of any kind living in the caves makes this room possibly the quietest in all of America. Due to its unusual history, it can also be rented for $900 per night. The Mogian Monster. One of the most intriguing legends surrounding the Grand Canyon is the Mogian Monster, commonly referred to as Arizona's Bigfoot. The first report of the Mogian Monster was made in 1903 by I.W. Stevens. Stevens told the Arizona Republican newspaper that he encountered an unidentified creature near the Grand Canyon. He described the creature, calling him the Wild Man of the Rocks, and said it had white hair on his head and a long white beard that grew down to his knees. He also said the creature had a long white tail that grew down to his feet. When Stephen first saw the thing, it was eating a freshly slain cougar while kneeling over it. Stevens tried to remain still, but the creature somehow sensed his presence, turned to face him, locked eyes, and let forth the craziest, most otherworldly screams. You could envision a screech. The Mogian Monster is described as a 7-foot-tall creature with a body covered in black or reddish hair with no visible hair on its face, chest, feet, or hands. The creature's head is placed deep in its skull and has comparatively square eyes. It also has a thick, bushy beard. One remarkable feature of this creature is its foul body odor, which eyewitnesses have described as smelling like a dead fish mixed with a skunk, and bad body odor, which makes one wonder how filthy it must be. Braille, the creature's upper arms are said to be big and hang down to its knees like how they're ape-men sightings. It also has huge feet with tracks that are about 22 inches long. The majority of hikers and campers in the region claim that the Mogian Monster would attack their campsites at night and take matters into their own hands. It was rumored to hurl furniture around, open bags, steal food, and knock tents apart, which is how and why it received its name. Some people also claim that stones have been thrown at them while being accompanied by screams that appeared to be warnings from within the forest. Do you have any theories about the mysteries of the Grand Canyon? Do share in the comments section below. If you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and press the notification bell for future updates on more exciting mysteries. See you next time.